So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's time to start this side event organized by the Italian Minister of Defense, as the title is Per Aspera ad Astra. These words of the Roman philosopher Marcus Tullius Cicerone, seem to me particularly suitable to speak about the empowerment of women inside the Italian armed forces, through difficulties up to the stars. At the end of the 90s, we were the only armed forces among NATO countries entirely composed by men. We have started to recruit women in 2000. Today, our armed forces and Carabinieri Corps, that is the military police, include over 12,000 service women who serve as officers, non-commissioned officers, lower ranks, soldiers and sailors. The policy of the Italian defense has from the very beginning established that they would not be excluded by any sector. Therefore, they have access to all services, corps and military specialties. And also thanks to the sacrifice and tenacity of female soldiers, today's Minister of Defense is a woman, Mrs. Roberta Pinotti, first female MOD in the history of the Italian Republic. Italy pays great attention to the empowerment of women. For this reason, Mrs. Pinotti asked me to mark our presence in this CSW session with this side event, whose protagonists are the women engaged in defense and security sector. This side event will be divided into panels. In the first moment, we will have the testimony of 3 women soldiers who, having successfully completed their studies, have now fulfilled their desires, reaching top management posts within the defense. After that, we will explain how the presence of women changed our posture, of the forces, armed forces, in international operations in which Italy has been involved, and how, thanks to their operate, we can help local female population. But let me go inside the subject. As I said, we have been late in including women in our forces as compared to other NATO member countries, even if for over 50 years, the Minister of Defense has been employing female civilian personnel, a valuable asset made up of over 8,000 professionals who currently cover 50% of our managerial position, 50%. With them, we have made up for our delay by building on the experience of other nations. Women's education, training, employment, and career are exactly the same as those of the male component, without limitations or exclusions of any sort. Our female military personnel, in fact, perform the same tasks of their male counterparts, both on the national territory and in all the main theaters of operations, in the different roles, corps, and specialties. Our women in uniform are employed aboard of our naval units, submarine, as airplane and helicopter pilots, tank crews, in law enforcement operation, and as managers of some of the most important ports along the Italian shores. They have made the Italian defense complete through their presence in a sector which, at least up to 20 years ago, was a men-only domain. The title of this side event, Per Aspera ad Astra, epitomizes the path women had to follow to integrate into the military world, the obstacles they had to overcome and difficulties they had to live through to meet even more important objectives, to take part in an increasingly significant way in the decision-making process that affects all the men and women of the relevant communities within and outside the military